Things are changing around here, and hopefully it's all in a good way. At the moment, I've got new stuff going on where I've got a new computer here, and it's in a new location, so I've kind of jimmy-rigged the background here with the help of my wife, and we suddenly had like alarms going on outside just before I started. So hopefully everything's gonna be okay. We're gonna get through this alright. And yeah, everything will work out according to plan. Welcome! You are watching Eccentric Nature. And we are going to talk about some of the best herbs you can use for headaches. All different kinds of headaches you can have. As I was doing some research for this, really, the video I want to do after this, I think, is going to be all about the top 10 herbs, herbal teas, top 10 herbal teas for headaches, because yeah, a lot of these herbs are ones that you'll find on some of the lists I've already done, like on anxiety or on pain, because a lot of the trigger factors for headaches are caused by a lot of the same things, like either inflammation, stress, which, you know, includes the ones that, all the herbs that are stress and anxiety herbs. So different things along those lines are a lot of the same triggers that will be things that trigger off headaches. Hello GLG, welcome. I'll give you a smile. There you go. So I was like going, well, I could just do a top 10 list for the best herbs and spices for headaches, but I thought it might be more interesting to do the tea one, because teas are still part of my focus here on the channel, and some of my people's favorite videos of mine are tea videos, so I figured, yeah, maybe we'll do that. Well, we'll see. That'll be, you know, coming up here later, and we'll see how that works. For now, we got to talk about all of the herbs and spices that I got just in general for headaches, and we're going to go into more detail than we will in that other video once I do that. And since you're asking, GLG, and I think you're the only person here at the moment, the way it's going so far is that I'm still having trouble, unfortunately. Yeah. Sadly, it has not gotten better yet, and in some ways have been worse. And so, yeah, it kind of sucks. I mean, hi Rachel B. Good to see you. I went in and according to the numbers, we're basically still kind of lost and trying to figure out what is going on with me. And it's I mean, all very frustrating, because he's like going, well, you should go pay to go get an eye test done. And it's like, what, you guys don't cover that as part of the NHS? And he's like, well, you should go possibly get a COVID, not a COVID test, but a antibody test to see if you actually had COVID, and what you're experiencing now is that long COVID, post-COVID syndrome that some people get into. And even though all of my COVID tests have come out negative, it's like feeling like that might actually be the most logical one at the moment, because of the way that the miscellaneous symptoms I'm having still kind of line up with long COVID, but it's like completely open as to what's going on with me at the moment. I'm really, really lost as to what's going to happen. So hopefully it all makes sense soon, and we'll figure it out. And in the meantime, we got lots of herbs and things to talk about. So yeah, let's get going on that. Hello Zany May, good to see you too. I'm going to keep as happy as possible. And yeah, let's get started on the list. Probably to no one's surprise, the first video, oops, I just set up my new OBS on here, so, oh there, yeah, it is showing. Ginger is on. I don't have my fader view on, so I totally didn't realize that I was actually showing the ginger. So yes, ginger is the first one on this list. And if you guys have seen many of my other videos, you know ginger's a monster when it comes to a lot of things, but it's definitely a big anti-inflammatory, and it's not good apparently for not only tension-induced headaches, but it can also be good for problems like migraines as well, mainly because it has anti-inflammatory compounds that inhibit the things like the prostaglandins that cause inflammation and thereby relieving headache pain. Ginger's been used by Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine for ages. The tea is also one of the main ways that they say to use it, is in ginger tea, because it's calming, and it can also alleviate things like nausea, which can come with things like migraines as well. Generally, they say that you can actually have a ginger tea cold or warm, either way, and it should work. I haven't tried a cold ginger tea before myself. I've just had it warm, so if that works, hey, great, but I'm not really sure. I've never tried the cold version. Actually, I was having a headache just the other day, and I had a ginger and mint tea, which is another one coming up shortly. And it actually did help me things loosen up there a little bit. So that was, you know, I was like, hey, there you go. Ginger, you're doing your job. Good job. But yeah, it's one of those ones. It stimulates blood flow. It's also good for detoxification. So there's all different kinds of things that ginger does. Now, like I've said before in my other videos, if just having the ginger tea doesn't do it for you, you can actually have a ginger supplement if you need a higher dose to make it work for you. You know, if you need something more powerful. But yeah, there's various studies out there that say ginger tea is definitely great when it comes to helping with your headaches. Shall we read off one of the studies? In fact, there's one that says 2014 found that consuming ginger powder was almost as effective for treating migraines as taking a dose of a common migraine medication called sumatriptan. So, I mean, there you go. That's a pretty darn good, whatchamacallit, pretty good to study for it. Yes, I'm going to be doing this a lot today, probably, just suddenly losing my train of thought. Help me! So let's move along. Turmeric is another one because it is good for pain relief and an anti-inflammatory. I haven't seen a lot of direct studies on turmeric when it comes to headaches yet, but it is another possible one. A freshwater plant called chlorella is another one that's supposedly also good for hangovers. But because it has a high chlorophyll level, no surprise about that. But it has the ability to help repair tissues in the body, including liver cells, which is why it's probably good for detoxifying the body. And but mainly the research I saw that it's great for hangovers, but also along those lines it's good for headaches as well, because headaches is one of the big problems that you can have when you're coming over a hangover. Janie May, just keep Blanton's asking, you a little bit off today? Yeah, like I said, I've still been feeling rough, and being a little bit off is all part of that. So, yeah, I'm probably going to lose myself here and there. As one of the main things that's going on with me right now is my energy is really off, and I get really foggy-brained, and I do get headaches as well, which is one of the reasons I was wanting to do this video. Because I myself have been having these headache problems and foggy-headed problems. But yeah, skipping along into Mr. Minty Mint, Peppermint. Yay, Peppermint. One One of the main ways they say to use peppermint is as peppermint oil, and there's actually been studies talking about how when you apply it directly to the forehead or the temples, that it can help with tension headaches in particular. And medicinal peppermint oil, of course, is much stronger than peppermint tea, but there have been, studies on both saying that either one can help with headaches. It's mainly a matter of what really works for you. So, yeah, you have to just, see if it's the kind of thing that helps you in particular. A 2012 study for people with migraines who breathed in lavender oil, so did it like an aromatherapy, for 15 minutes reported a severe decrease in headache severity and fewer associated symptoms as well. But peppermint tea is another great tea that's definitely going to make my top 10 list as to ones that can help you for headaches. It's also, peppermint is one of the main things that's really good for digestive problems and things like, nausea and stuff as well. And because the stomach is related directly to the brain in lots of new studies, they say that things that can help with the stomach problems can actually help with the headaches as well. But it's also a stress reliever, is peppermint. So, which is part of the reason I think why, because of the menthol and the mint smell, it definitely is a great stress reducer. That when you use it as like a tea or an aromatherapy and you're really taking that scent in, as amongst other things, it definitely helps, get you relaxing, which helps with those headaches. But peppermint leaf and oil can contain lots of various things, including the menthol, acetaldehyde, amyl alcohol, menthol esters, limon, piperine, cadine, pugilone, sorry. They're all various things that are good for helping with inflamed nerve sensors, pain, and but it's also another one that's good for improving your clarity and concentration, which is something I need right now, so I've been doing lots of mint tea recently. A Dutch 2016 study found that peppermint oil can stop headaches possibly as effectively as aspirin. So hey, there you go. Peppermint, and almost as good as aspirin, dude. So if the aspirin's not working, try some peppermint, baby. You can also use it topically, besides the peppermint, by putting some in some hot water and putting your feet in it, is another method I've heard of using it. Lots of different methods I've heard about using this one. There's a 2010 study that found that menthol was effective at stopping migraine headaches and easing nausea when applied to the forehead and temples again. So there's another study about the forehead treatment. So there's been multiple studies done on that version where you apply it to the temples. Hello, Rex George. Good to see you. Welcome to the party. We're enjoying ourselves here. No, we haven't gotten to the point of doing any head x-rays. I've done it's a bunch of stuff on the lungs and heart now, and nothing's come back as far as that stuff's concerned, so that's good. But yeah, they're still not exactly sure what's going on otherwise. Ugh. But let me see here. Another way that you can use it is in a compress by using 2 tablespoons of peppermint, fresh, or 1 tablespoon dry. You're gonna just prepare an infusion. You can actually add some ice cubes to it and kind of just apply it to you like you would an ice pack, or you can soak a soft cotton, soak something in it like a cotton or flannel cloth in the liquid and apply it to your forehead that way. So use that for 20 minutes on, and then remove it for 10 or 20 minutes and then try it again. So yeah, lots of different ways you can use it. And of course, like I said, and the great way to do these a lot of times is in combination. I'll do peppermint and ginger together all the time because it actually tastes better as well as a tea. But I love putting those together. All right. Let's move down the list here. Rosemary's another one. Rosemary! Yay, rosemary! It's a natural stimulant, but it helps get rid of feelings of tiredness. Can help with upset stomachs as well, but it's also a really good one to use in a bath or an oil. And some other... Where are I had split research on this one. I know I had it on here somewhere else. Rosemary, where'd you go? There you are. Okay, found the rest of my rosemary information. So, it's helps improve your circulation. It's for this reason it's a good tactic for things like cluster headaches. It's the type of remedy where you can again put your feet in some hot water if you want to help improve the circulation and stimulate your nerves. But you can also be another one that you can apply the oil directly to your temples. So a lot of these ones are like that, where it's like because the headaches are here, they just say apply the oil straight to the head or use a cold compress right on the head. So for most of these, you can trial that. I mean, some of them that are a bit harder on the skin are ones that you're going to not want to do that. But which is why you're either going to want to mellow it out with some water, combining it that way, or by doing just the compress version where you're not just putting the oil straight on there, you know. But you can also do rosemary as an aromatherapy as well. You can use rosemary tea, also a great way to do it. So yeah, rosemary. I gotta try some more of that. I haven't had a good rosemary tea in a while now, and I need to go back and do that. So we've talked rosemary, ginger, and mint now. GLG loves peppermint. I'm sure lots of people love peppermint here. Yes? Peppermint lovers, unite! Fennel! Fennel's the one I've just talked about in the top 10 herbs for gas. But it's great also for nausea and indigestion, and helping with hangovers as well, the effects of alcohol in the body. But you can do fennel tea as well. And of course, I'm supposing that a lot of people know this one's on the list. Chamomile. Chamomile is a great tea to use. Another one of the great teas for headaches. But it's known for its calming properties, for its stress, and it has several phenolic compounds and flavonoids that are all great for anti-inflammatories that are, you know, great pain relievers as well, which can be helpful for migraines and tension headaches. So chamomile tea, baby, definitely one that you want to add to the list, and you can combine with the others as well. You can also have it for what was I just thinking of? It's one that if you're allergic to the ragweed family, that you don't want to have it. A lot of people don't have that allergy. It's just a very rare one. But chamomile tea is like a very common tea. So you're probably not, you know, if you've ran into that problem before with it, you obviously are not going to go there already. But they also say that avoid chamomile if you have like blood thinners. But again, it's like if you're doing higher doses of it, the chamomile tea isn't so much probably going to give you that much trouble, even unless you're having a lot of it. So I always like trying to put the disclaimers out there, but at the same time, it's like it's a matter of moderation, and it's a matter of just how much you're using of it. And if you're trying to do higher doses and you're having problems with things like taking blood thinners, or you might have an allergy to marigolds, daisies, or chrysanthemums, then you're going to probably have a problem with the chamomile. But otherwise, yeah, it does have research out there saying that it's good for things like tension headaches. Another one that's good, parsley. Parsley is on the list. Cinnamon's on the list as well. Grind cinnamon stick. Again, that's another one that they say, you know, apply it directly to the temple or the forehead, and just, you know, leave it on there for like 20-30 minutes. And this one, they say you can actually grind it and actually create a little bit of a paste with it. So in a way, you're kind of doing a poultice instead of just doing a cold compress. But you could do it either way. You know, you could have it in a tea as well. Cinnamon tea, you know, tea is great. Chai teas. Masala, one tea in particular, this masala chai, is good because it already has things like ginger and cinnamon in it. So, yeah, if you're looking for a good tea, a masala chai can possibly do the trick for you. I'm going to go away from the songs with soothing music. I don't know if the music's loud enough, but I just got nice light background music on. Wow. Here's another one, Butterbur. Butterbur is, I think on this list, is one of the harder ones because there are a lot more caveats to Butterbur. But it has actually had some studies saying that it's good for migraines. One looked at it and said the 2018 review found that taking 50 milligrams 3 times a day really helped people. But there's also been some other things that say that like over here in the UK, I don't know if this is still the case because I haven't tried to look for it, but they've said that a lot of people don't sell Butterbur because of safety concerns. So yeah, it's one that you need to take with a little bit of a grain of salt, or just do the research on it to see if Butterbur might be something that could affect you negatively. But there's another study that supports that it's effective for migraine prevention when taken as a 50 to 75 milligram dose twice a day. So there's your general range. If you are going to try the Butterbur, 50 milligrams to 75 milligrams is the general suggested dose for that one. But yeah, multiple studies there saying Butterbur is one. Another one that you can do as a tea, because I like oregano tea, is oregano. But you can also do it as an oil. You can do it with a carrier oil to apply it, because doing it straight is probably too strong when it comes to oregano. So you're going to either want to definitely water it down, or use a carrier oil, like in order to ease the effects of oregano. It's not one that you probably want to use directly, but you can actually use it on the temple if you diffuse it properly. Here's another one that's been on a couple of my top 10 lists, or at least one of them I know. Feverfew. Feverfew. Yeah. Looks a lot like chamomile. No surprise here, that's in the same family. So it's probably not the most popular tea because it can be a little bit bitter. But if you combine it with some of these other ones, adding a little Feverfew in with your headache remedy, I'd say just take, all of these ones are great in tea so far that I've mentioned for the most part. At least all the major ones like mint, ginger, rosemary, chamomile, Feverfew. You could just make a tea with that and it'd be fantastic to have, headache relief possibly. Like I said, things affect people differently, and it may not be your number one go-to, but there are lots of studies saying that Feverfew is one of the primary herbs that are out there that can definitely help with headaches. So, contains various anti-inflammatory and muscle relaxant properties that are, definitely good for both migraines and tension headaches. Also helps with the nausea and vomiting that migraine sufferers can have. You can, of course, have it in a tincture or a capsule form as well if you need a bigger dose. Feverfew also in the past has been used also for pain and body aches. It's another reason that it's good for the headaches, because it's a pain reliever. But yeah, it can have a pretty robust and bitter flavor when it comes to the tea. So you're definitely going to want to put it in with some other herbs if you're having it as a tea, and trying it that way. Yeah, one that as a traditional medicine, it actually used to be known as medieval aspirin. hey, there you go. So no big surprise there that even back in the olden days, they knew it was good for things like headaches. Had a 2015 study that said one review found taking Feverfew supplement resulted in 0.6 fewer migraines over a month over a placebo. A 2011 review concluded that Feverfew can reduce pain, fever, and inflammation. So, yeah, several Feverfew studies out there, which is great to see. And let's go right. Do I have any comments? Let's go to the comments on the live stream. Feverfew. Yeah. Feverfew is probably a little bit harder to find. I mean, especially if you're trying to have it as a tea. It's not like one you can go to the supermarket a lot of times and find in the food aisle like you would with a lot of these other ones. You may be able to find it in the tea aisle possibly, but it might be mixed in with some other ones. You probably would have to go to more of an actual naturalist store or a specialist store to find the Feverfew. When you're getting into some of these other ones, they definitely are ones that aren't just, boom, you can go to the store and find ginger no problem, peppermint no problem. Though some of these other ones, you definitely got to go and look a bit more.
Oh. Yeah, no talking. I don't like songs with lyrics. It's your background music. You're not supposed to be going and talking to me.
Alright, back to the list. Where was I? I was about to talk about Willow Bark. Willow Bark! Yay! Now, it's another one that's been used for thousands of years to treat problems with pain and inflammation. Willow Bark is in fact one of the reasons that we discovered aspirin. In fact, I think it's is the substance that led people to figure out that aspirin exists, because it contains an active ingredient called salicin, and it's a chemical that's very similar to aspirin. So, and I believe I'm right in saying that salicin basically led people to figure out how to do aspirin. But it's very similar, so similar to aspirin that if you have problems with aspirin, it may actually be something that you don't want to take. But on the other hand, if you do want it, you can use it as a tea. You can also, again, use it as a compress. But I got various studies on this one as well. 2012 studies suggest it's a very effective antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. I think I thought I had another study listed on my notes here. Nope. Okay. But yeah, it's another one that's going to be harder for you to find is Willow Bark. You probably will find it easier in a supplement in a nutrition store or an herbal store than you would actually just in the raw form. Yeah. I'm going to keep moving down the list so I don't be on here too long and start getting too loopy. Let's just keep things moving along. Nobody's making comments right now anyway, so we can just zoom along. Clove! Yes, cloves is another good one. I've talked about this one more for its pain relief properties, which is why it can also help with headaches, because headache is just another type of pain. And I've found it to be another one that's really good as a direct contact one, because when you use it on your teeth, you'll apply it directly to the teeth in order to get pain relief to the teeth. So you can again also apply this one directly to the temples or the forehead. But again, you can have a clove tea. Sorry, getting some water there. Of course, this is another one that's easier to find in stores. You can definitely find it in a regular grocery store. But people have used this one for migraines as well. It helps with blood circulation. Again, it's another one that could possibly react with blood thinning medications. But it definitely is good for throbbing headaches. As well, you can, like I said, you can, just crush up some cloves and put them in a clean handkerchief or cloth of some kind. and put it on your head. Mix it with a little water if you want to just create more of a actual poultice. Or you can, you do it as well as an aromatherapy. Yep, all the good ones. Wow. Another one I've talked about for pain relief before is Bromelain. That's the one that comes from pineapples. It's a natural proteolytic enzyme. Lowers various things that cause migraines, and yep, I'm just going to zoom through a couple more on my list here that I haven't gotten as much information on, but they all are ones that I've heard stuff about. So allspice, borage is another one that can help with stress and nervousness, so it can also help with headaches. Catnip, yeah. I've actually got a catnip plant, so I'm gonna have to try this out now. Because I always thought oh, you just give catnip to cats, but no, people can have catnip too. You can have catnip. Yes. So it's a good, it's a bit of a sedative, and it's definitely a body relaxer, and it's a pain reliever. So definitely, it's various ways. It's as a member of the mint family. All of the mint ones can help with these various same pain relief problems and same stress and anxiety problems. So definitely, anything in the mint family, catmint being one. But I'm bringing up catmint in particular because people think of catnip, catmint, and go, oh no, that's just for your cat. No, it's not. You can have it too. Horseradish. There goes the tongue again. Horseradish. Yeah. As a very powerful decongestant, if you've had a little bit too much of that hot mustard or horseradish kind of thing, it can help clean up the sinuses, and if that's part of what's causing your headache, it definitely can help bring you that relief as well for the head. You can also, it's another one that you can use straight on the head. You can not one to so much having a tea, but you can have it as an actual aromatherapy. Another big one, lavender. Yes. Lavender is very much a big stress reliever. You can also use a lavender essential oil right on the forehead. This one's been used for ages as well. 2012 studies suggested inhaling lavender oil during a migraine can help relieve the symptoms quickly. So we can use it as aromatherapy in that case. But the lavender oil can be toxic when taken orally, so it's one that you want to not take internally, unless you're having it as a tea. You don't want to have the lavender oil that way. You you can apply topically, but you also want to make sure that you probably need to dilute it, because lavender oil can be an irritant for lots of people's skin. So you know that. There you go. The lemon family, not the lemon family, but lemon balm, lemon verbena, the big lemon herbs as far as when it comes to the herb world, are both good as, calming and relaxing ones. Passion flower is another one. Sage, good old sage can help as well. In fact, it's like one thing said that they can help with headaches caused by eating too much, or headaches caused from hormonal problems like menopause. Also good for tension and nerve-related headaches. Skullcap is another one. Valerian, of course, being a big stress reliever, is another one that can definitely help as well. Coriander seed in particular, not cilantro so much, but coriander seed. Research on the seeds was generally focused on its potential to treat arthritis and diabetes, but some studies conducted also said that it could possibly be good for migraines. So in looking for the other stuff, they found that that's a good way to do it. But when it comes to coriander, again, this is one you can use in a tea. I wouldn't suggest doing the cilantro leaves in a tea. It doesn't taste very good. But the coriander seeds can be used in a tea, or you can just chew the seeds themselves. Another way to do it. Dong Kai, being a good pain reliever, is also one that can help with headaches. Vervain is another one that can help because it helps with the nervous system as well. Basil. Is another one that's was a little hit and miss on my research. People talking about this one, but yeah, I always tend to forget sometimes to go back to basil, but it is definitely one that can help in this realm. Hops. Beer. One of the before not beer, just the hops. But you know, people think of hops, they think of beer, but no, like it's actually been used since the Roman times for not just things like headaches, but things like pain from nerve damage, fevers, cramps, spasms, anxiety, sleep problems. Definitely a couple that are much less common now. Betony or Stachys officinalis, Evodia, linden, which is the lime tree, also known as tilia, are all ones that are on the outside. There are possibility that could help you. Honeysuckle. Honeysuckle is another one that's a little bit more common, I think, in some places. Mullein or mullein is another one that can help you. Yarrow. I've seen Yarrow on a few lists, a few different studies, but it's a good pain reliever, and it's also good for anxiety, also good anti-inflammatory, and one again that seems counterintuitive to some people, but Cayenne. The capsaicin in particular, like in Cayenne, again, it's, you know, it's kind of that whole principle that when you have some spicy foods, it clears out your system, but they say it's possibly a top choice for migraines. But also it is a way to kind of diverting the pain away from the head, because the pain's kind of going to a different area, that it kind of confuses your circuits and makes you go, oh, my pain's actually not there anymore, it's here. And then when that pain of the fieriness of the capsaicin and the cayenne fades away, your headache's gone with it. Yeah. So yeah, a very interesting one. I've always been very intrigued by the ways and reasons that things like horseradish and mustard and cayenne can work like this. Another one that's also known as wintergreen is teaberry. And that's like the last one on my list. Yay! Otherwise, I just have some general things that are used. Like things like you're going to be using, like cold compresses, ice packs, heating pads, head washes with the herbs. All these different things you can combine the herbs with to use them. In addition to using as teas. And there's various ways that they say to do the teas, of course. You can combine them. You can do them as a cold tea and let them brew longer to get more out of them. But yeah, that is my general list for the moment. And there you go, people. Woo! The list is done. Give you a quick rundown on what's going to happen next. Next week, I've got my video on CBD tea versus hemp tea. Bum bum bum. What is the difference between the two? And there is a difference. So you're going to want to catch that one if you're definitely interested in hemp or CBD tea. So that's coming out next. After that, I'll probably do another roundup on what's going on in my herb garden, another live stream. And then we'll be getting into the top 10 herbs for gas. That'll be my video after that. Following that up in October will be the history and mythology of turmeric. All coming up down the line. Yeah. And then I was thinking about getting into some major ones. I think by that time I'm actually into later October, so I was contemplating doing like a Halloween video of some kind. So I'm having to try and figure out what I want to do for that. If I want to just do like the history of pumpkins, I might be doing that one. Or mythology of pumpkins probably makes more sense for going around Halloween. But yeah, that's my upcoming plan. Doing a couple themed videos for all the big holidays coming up, October, November, December. Until then, hopefully you guys are feeling good. And hopefully I start feeling a bit better too. Hey! In the meantime, you guys take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great week. See you later, my friends.